why your burnout is not a badge of honor, and what happens when you stop wearing it. Good morning, beautiful souls. Welcome to Soft Girl Era, the sacred space where strong Black women unlearn survival, rediscover softness, and reclaim the joy, rest, and freedom they deserve without guilt, without apology, and without explanation. I'm your host, LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French. And I am your guide from burnout to boundaries, from doing to being, from strong to soft, and loving every second of it. Today, I had the profound honor of sitting down with Emma Tucker. And let me tell you, this conversation shifted something deep in my spirit. Emma Tucker is not just a voice in the wilderness, she is a movement maker, a truth teller, and a woman who is actively reshaping what it means to lead, to build, and to thrive as a Black professional and entrepreneur. Her work is making the world a better place by giving Black women permission to stop performing strength and start embodying peace. And today I'm going to share with you the insights from our conversation, insights that will challenge everything you thought you knew about ambition, rest, and what it really means to step into your soft girl era. Let me start with something that might surprise you. When we think about entering our soft girl era, especially as Black professionals and entrepreneurs, we often think it's about slowing down, maybe even giving up a little bit of our edge. We think softness means we're becoming less strategic, less ambitious, less driven. But here's what Emma Tucker helped me see, and what I want you to hear today. Stepping into your soft girl era is not about becoming less of anything. It's about recognizing that softness, rest, emotional honesty, and self-compassion are actually competitive advantages in business and leadership. Yes, you heard me right. Competitive advantages. We've been taught that grinding until we burn out is proof of our worthiness. We've been taught that if we're not exhausted, we're not working hard enough. We've been taught that rest is something we earn after we've made it, not something we build into our lives right now. But what if I told you that embracing ease, intuitive decision making, and aligned work can lead to higher performance, better leadership, and more sustainable success than constant, strong Black woman survival mode ever has? This is the shift Emma Tucker's inviting us into. And it's not just theory, it's backed by real stories, real women, real results. Let me share three women whose journeys prove that softness is not weakness, it's wisdom. First, let's talk about Trisha Hersey and the NAP ministry. Trisha is a Black woman theologian, artist, and activist who founded an entire movement around one radical idea: rest is resistance. She didn't build the NAP ministry by hustling harder, she built it by resting deeper. Trisha grew up in a culture that glorified overwork, that told Black women their value was tied to how much they could endure. She worked in academic and nonprofit spaces that expected her to sacrifice her well being to serve others. And she did, until her body and spirit said no more. So she started experimenting with public nap installations in 2016. She invited people to sleep, to reflect, to hear sermons on rest. And it evolved into the NAP ministry, a globally recognized movement that has changed how wellness, social justice, and corporate spaces talk about productivity, burnout, and care, especially for Black people. Trisha studied theology and was deeply shaped by her family's history and the generational impact of labor and exploitation on Black bodies. Her own experiences with exhaustion, grief, and overwork in graduate school and nonprofit work led her to question why rest was treated as a reward instead of a right. She created immersive rest experiences, workshops, and digital content that invite people, especially Black folks, into collective slowing down. She established the NAP ministry as a recognized entity, allowing speaking engagements, partnerships, and book deals to support the work sustainably. Trisha published a best selling book called Rest is Resistance, and she has inspired organizations and individuals to incorporate rest into policies, programs, and leadership models. Many followers report transforming their work life structures, scheduling rest, questioning grind culture, and designing businesses with more ease and boundaries. Here's what Trisha's work teaches us: rest is not a reward, rest is a right, rest is a strategy. And when you center rest in your business model, in your career decisions, in your daily rituals, you don't lose your edge, you sharpen it. Because rest allows you to access creativity, clarity, and discernment that constant hustle shuts down. Now let's talk about Rachel Rogers and Hello 7. Rachel is a Black woman attorney turned entrepreneur who built a multi-million-dollar company teaching women, especially women of color, how to earn seven figures without sacrificing their well-being. Rachel's philosophy is simple but revolutionary. Design your business around boundaries, values, and sustainable strategies, not frantic hustle. Rachel started as a lawyer, trading hours for dollars, feeling the stress of a demanding profession. She shifted into business coaching, and through her own burnout cycles and mindset shifts, she realized that Black women often carry generational pressure to prove themselves through struggle and underpayment. So she intentionally rejected that script. She raised her prices. She narrowed her offerings. She chose clients aligned with her values, centered on respect, equity, and ease. She built structured programs and digital products instead of relying solely on intensive one on one work. She advocated openly for boundaries, including saying no to misaligned work, investing in a strong team, and prioritizing rest and family time. She navigated racism and bias in the legal and entrepreneurial world while building credibility as a Black woman expert on money. She overcame the internalized belief that she had to overwork and undercharge to be grateful for opportunities. She scaled a business rapidly while parenting, managing a team, and maintaining mental and emotional health. And what happened? Hello 7 grew into a multi-million-dollar company. Rachel published a widely read book called We Should All Be Millionaires, normalizing wealth for Black women and making it accessible through aligned, emotionally sustainable business models. Many of her clients report building businesses where they work less, earn more, and feel more aligned, embodying a soft yet powerful entrepreneurial era. Rachel's work shows us that a soft girl era can include high income, strong boundaries, and intentional rest. You can be both financially powerful and emotionally soft without apologizing. And finally, let's talk about Bazoma St. John. Bazoma is a Black woman marketing executive who has held leadership roles at companies like PepsiCo, Apple, Uber, Endeavor, and Netflix. She has operated as a high visibility Black woman leader in predominantly white, male, high demand corporate environments. She has faced grief, including the loss of her husband, while still in demanding executive roles. She has navigated expectations to constantly perform, prove herself, and stay strong in environments that often undervalue emotional honesty. But Bazoma chose to be radically herself. She embraced bold style, emotional openness, and an unapologetic presence rather than muting her identity. She spoke publicly about mental health, grief, and the importance of self preservation, encouraging professionals to center their humanity rather than just their output. She made deliberate career moves aligned with her values, leaving roles that did not serve her long term well being. Born in Ghana and raised between Ghana and the US, Bazoma learned early to navigate multiple cultures and expectations. Her career path took her through major entertainment and tech brands, where she often was one of the few Black women at the executive table. The death of her husband and her public grieving process shifted how she thought about work, leading her to prioritize joy, presence, and emotional truth over conventional career optics. And what happened? Bozoma became one of the most recognizable Black women in global marketing leadership, proving that authenticity and emotional presence can coexist with top tier performance. Her interviews and talks have encouraged many Black professionals to reconsider the cost of performing strength 24/7 and to honor their emotional lives. She has become a model for redefining what executive leadership looks like when softness and self care are allowed into the room. Bazoma's journey offers a blueprint for a soft girl era in corporate and professional spaces, choosing self preservation, emotional truth, and joy, even at the highest levels of responsibility. So, what do these three women, Trisha, Rachel, and Bazoma, have in common? They all chose softness as a strategy, not a surrender. They all built systems that protect their well being, not just their revenue. They all redefined strength on their own terms. And that's what Emma Tucker and I talked about in our interview. We talked about how softness is a power strategy, not a personality flaw. Your capacity to rest, receive support, set boundaries, and move from alignment rather than anxiety will make you a stronger leader and entrepreneur, um, not a weaker one. Softness allows you to access creativity, clarity, and discernment that constant hustle shuts down. We also talked about how you do not have to outperform harm to deserve ease. Many Black professionals and entrepreneurs have internalized the belief that we must overwork, overproduce, and overachieve to justify our presence in rooms that were not built for us. But in your soft girl era, your worth is not tied to how exhausted you are. You are allowed to design a business and career that honors your nervous system, your joy, and your God given gifts. And finally, we talked about how you must build systems that protect your softness, not just your revenue. As you grow in your career or business, don't only scale your income, scale your support, your boundaries, and your well being infrastructure, automations, delegation therapy, spiritual practices, community. Your soft girl era becomes sustainable when your systems are designed to keep you out of chronic survival mode and in a state of grounded, peaceful execution. Now, I know some of you are listening and thinking, but LeAnne, I have bills to pay. I have people depending on me. I can't just stop hustling. And I hear you, I see you. But here's what I want you to understand: your soft girl era is not about stopping, it's about starting differently. It's about building rest into your business model from the beginning, not waiting until you're burned out to prioritize your peace. It's about setting boundaries now, not after you've made it. It's about designing your work around what feels aligned and safe to your spirit, not what feels like survival. Because here's the truth: survival mode is not sustainable. You cannot build a legacy on exhaustion. You cannot lead from depletion. You cannot create from chaos. And you do not have to. Your soft girl era is not a trend. It's not a phase. It's not something you do when you finally have time. It is a decision to stop equating your worth with your weariness, a decision to stop waiting for permission to rest, a decision to stop apologizing for choosing yourself. And it starts right now, not next quarter, not after the next launch, not when things slow down, right now. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Before you leave this room, before you open your phone, before you return to the noise and the demands and the endless hustle, I want you to make one commitment, one boundary you will set this week, one rest ritual you will honor without guilt, one piece of work you will realign with your values, your energy, your spirit. Write it down, say it out loud, text it to someone who will hold you accountable. Because your soft girl era doesn't start someday, it starts with the decision you make right after you leave this stage. And I believe in you. I see you. I honor you. Now go be soft. Go be free. Go be you.